This girl took her and put it in her butt crack.
You're sitting your daughter in that chair to be abused just because she may be good at hair and makeup.
That assistant drops a hot curling iron on you.
Welcome to another episode of Pageant Mafia. We are so excited to be here today, and we're going to do something a little fun. We're going to talk about behind the scenes. We're going to talk about funny things and some controversial things that happens in the dressing room and the hair and makeup room. We all know that that is one of the most important areas that you will be in pageantry. I think it's underestimated as far as what goes on there and how it emotionally affects you toward your goal to your crown when you're on stage. I think how you feel in the hair and makeup room at times is more important than even the preparation up to the event, because it's a mind game and your mind has to be right before you ever enter the stage or before you enter your interview. And you're in the hair and makeup room or dressing room prior to these events.
So whatever energy you are in, that's what you're going to be putting
Exactly.
out.
That's what you're going to portray in the interview room or on stage. And you always know you have to have that positive, high energy for competition.
Right.
But I am going to tell a really funny story to start with. Probably only one. I don't know yet. But knowing all of you that know us, you know Ashlin started her pageant journey when she was about 8 years old. And so we have this really awesome alteration person and dear friend. Her name is Luana. And she would travel with us. She loves hard. She's
She's
vocal.
a fire ant for sure.
Yes, absolutely she is. And she would go with us to pageants, and she would say, let me be in the dressing room with Ashlin. I'll do her hair. I'll do her makeup. I'll
But
get
the
her
reason
dressed.
she says that and done that was because at that age, Mom would just irritate me so bad.
Yes, I would.
Like, Ashlyn, are you prepared? Ashlyn, this. And I'm like, Mom, you're stressing me out. Even at 8, I was like, Mom, you're stressing me out. I can't do this right now. So Luana was just, Michelle, don't touch her. You go and sit in the audience. You will see her on stage.
Right. She would. And she would take over. And she could just look at Ashlyn and say, get yourself straight right now. You go out and you do this stuff, you know. And it was okay. And Ashlyn would be like, yes, ma'am, you know, and she would do it. So anyway, we went to this big pageant in Dothan, Alabama. I think it was like Ashlyn's second or third pageant. And I left her backstage. Well, when they get the girls dressed and do the hair and makeup, then they would take them to another holding area, and they didn't allow moms or anyone in that area. And it was a security guard guarding the room.
Right, making sure
nobody messed with the girls, you know, and they would go out on stage. Well, Ashlyn was wearing this huge hoop, because Luana always thought she needed a hoop.
I loved me a hoop, though.
I know, and we are one of the few that Ashlyn thrived on that hoop. Girl, she'd just get that thing going and be like a bell, you know, and she could rock that hoop. But anyway, if you're not careful, your dress would come up on the hoop, you know, and your hoop would hang out the bottom.
Right.
And y'all have to forgive me because I can't help it, but I have to tell you, you got to know Luana, and we love her dearly. But they told her she couldn't stay with Ashlyn.
Right.
And the security guard said, ma'am, you're going to have to leave. You cannot stay in this room. She looked dead at them.
And he's like a buff,
he's a security guard.
Yeah.
He's got on I don't know if he had a gun, but we're going to say he did. Anyway, to make the story good. We're going to say we think he did.
A taser, at least.
Yeah, taser, anyway. She's standing there, and she looked at him, and she pointed her finger in his face, and she said, okay, but I can tell you right now, if she comes out on stage and her hoop is showing, I'm going to come back with your ass. And that's what she said.
And he was like,
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Well, it tickled Ashlyn so much that she went out on that stage with the biggest grin on her face. She killed it. And it was all about Luana and all about the atmosphere and all about how she felt about herself.
And my hoop was not showing.
It was not showing, and she killed it. When she came off stage, Luana went backstage to get her. She looked dead at the security guard. She said, I guess you knew what was best for you, didn't you? So there you go. So we all need a little Luana in our life.
Right.
I wish I could be a little more like Luana and say a little more about what I think about some certain issues.
Right.
So
right. The environment that you are in right before you go on stage or right before you walk in an interview, it's really everything. Because like you said earlier, I mean, that mindset, that's what you're walking in with. And there are people that are going to uplift you and fill you with love and encouragement and make you smile. But unfortunately, there's also people that right before you walk in an interview or go on stage, they're going to tell you that they know the judges personally and that they would get you disqualified. Unfortunately, there's also people that want to accidentally drop a curling iron on your neck and burn you on purpose. Yeah. There is also, I mean, y'all, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Some of these hair and makeup artists, you need to be out of the room. You need to 100% be out of the room. If you are purposely trying to discourage someone before one of the most important moments in their life, now granted, it might not be their most important moment, the hair and makeup artist, but these
it is
girls,
to the contestant at that moment,
right? And you need to value that and respect that, and especially when someone is paying you thousands of dollars to do their hair and makeup. Your job is to do their hair and makeup and to be kind. As simple as that.
And you know, you can be the most talented person in the world at hair and makeup. Be the best. Mm-hmm. But if you have a nasty attitude, and if you are nasty and you treat your girls like crap, you are worthless in that hair and makeup room. If you treat the girls bad, if you are ugly to them, if you're hateful, if you upset them, I mean, you're not worth a dime for the week, much less thousands of dollars.
And it's on purpose,
and especially, yes, you know you're doing it, and you think it's funny. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's not funny. You know what else is not funny? Somebody paying you thousands of dollars and going to a national pageant, planning on having their hair and makeup done, and you messaging the mom saying, I'm not going to do her hair and makeup. She was disrespectful to me or rude to me.
Just because she asked to fix her eyelash?
Yeah. I mean, come on. Come on. Yeah. That's not the time or the place. And somebody is paying you thousands of dollars again. And you know what? A good hair and makeup artist, they're worth it. I am not saying that they're overpaid by any means. No. If they are talented and they are good and they make the girls feel good, they are worth their weight in gold, because having a good hair and makeup artist is life-changing. Right. But guess what? It's life-changing for good or bad. Right. And if you are a hair and makeup artist and you sit in the hair and makeup room, even if it's not your client, you're sitting at the next chair and you're talking about the other girl in the other chair while she's getting her hair and makeup done, and that child is listening to you bash her. Right. How do you think she feels? Right. How do you think these teenagers feel when you're sitting in the hair and makeup room destroying them before interview or before they go on stage?
And this is also my question, too. Moms or daughters or whoever, if you are in the hair and makeup room and you are hearing the hair and makeup artist bad-mouthing another contestant, say that it has nothing to do with you. If that is her energy and if she is bad-mouthing that contestant, what makes you think she is not doing the same exact thing to you when you walk out?
She is.
No, that's what I'm saying.
She's doing that. And moms, shame on you. Yeah. Shame on you, moms, for allowing it. Shame on you for sitting your daughter in that chair.
But she's the sponsor and she's the best in the industry.
You're sitting your daughter in that chair to be abused just because she may be good at hair and makeup, but you're allowing your daughter to go through that toxic environment.
And making them think it's okay.
Right. You're teaching your child, well, you know, that's almost like teaching your child it's okay to marry a rich man that's abusive.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it like that, but think about it. Oh, well, he'll take good care of you. Just deal with it.
Right.
No, don't deal with it.
Right.
Don't deal with it at all. Mom, step up and say, I refuse to pay money to someone that is trying to destroy young girls. If you will do that, the
We could make a
environment will
difference.
change. We are doing this podcast because we are trying to make awareness. When your child gets up from that chair, she should feel great about herself. She needs a hair and makeup person that loves her, that encourages her, that inspires her and lifts her up, tells her she's going to kill it, tell her how beautiful she is, and is positive to every person in the room, whether she is their client or not. She's a positive person.
And I do want to say, you guys, I'm thankfully not speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking from what I have seen in the hair and makeup rooms and in the dressing rooms. But thankfully, the person that did my hair and makeup was the most kind-hearted person ever. And she was the girl that I would be like, oh my gosh, Alex, so-and-so happened and so-and-so's getting on my nerves. She would be like, why are you even talking about that? Get that out of your head. Right now, we are going to have positive vibes, positive energy. She is also the one that will pray for you right before you go on stage. And I'm so thankful that I had an Alex in my life, that I sat in that chair and I felt uplifted. She never made me feel like I wasn't amazing. And most girls don't have that unless you have an Alex.
Right. And that's one thing I can say. The experience we're speaking of is we were witnessing this happen to other girls.
So, Alex, if you're watching this, I'm not talking bad about you.
I think she would know that. That is one thing, absolutely. And I will say this, and moms, I know when I'm telling you don't allow it, I do understand that some of you may not have realized it to that level. That's why you need to watch it. That's why you need to, just like I didn't realize when my child laid in bed, she was depressed, there was something causing it, and I needed to get to the bottom of it. I'm not condemning you, and I'm not blaming moms at all. I'm just telling you don't allow it from seeing it through experiences, because I allowed other things. That wasn't what I allowed, but I did allow other things. So I'm speaking from my heart saying, find an Alex. Right. And there's other ones. There's a lot of good ones. It's not just Alex, okay, guys? There are tons of wonderful hair and makeup people that we have got to know over the years that we adore.
Right.
But the one common thing is, if you sit in their chair and it's negative, whether it's to you or them being negative about someone else, it's not the environment you need to be around.
And another thing is, I'm about to be extremely blunt. I don't care if they are a sponsor. I don't care if they take the program book picture and do all the queen's hair and makeup. If you feel like you have to use them because they're a sponsor of that national pageant, you do not need to do that national pageant.
Again, if you have to use a sponsor to win that pageant, the pageant's not worth winning.
You're doing the wrong pageant then.
You're doing the wrong pageant.
Yep.
And if you notice year after year after year after year that only the girls are winning that are using that hair and makeup artist, that photographer, that wardrober, that whatever they may do,
something's up.
Then, maybe it's time to sit out until that organization can get their act together.
Right.
So that's another thing. That's another story when we're going to be talking about pageants and what systems you should avoid, what systems you should go to, and what you should look for in a pageant. But the behind the scenes things that we have witnessed, when a hair and makeup person picks up their phone and they tell somebody, I'm going to text the judges. I'm going to tell them not to pick you if you don't quit being sassy with me. Right. Come on, guys. Right. Come on. Is that what we want to do? Or all their assistants quit. What about that? What about all their assistants walking out and leaving them because they have been berated and talk down to and talk so ugly to that their assistants can't even stay and finish the job. Do you think that's not an issue?
Or you threaten a girl and say, if you keep on being rude to me, I'm not going to do you for the rest of the week. I'm just going to push you off to my assistant. And then when that assistant drops a hot curling iron on
And
you.
burns you. I mean, come on. How is that good and how is that right?
Right.
Accidents happen. We understand that. But guess what would not have happened had the hair and makeup artist not done that? Okay? So it all goes back to that. Or you leave a girl stranded with no hair and makeup.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I have to tell y'all this story. So I was in the hair and makeup room. I 100% witnessed this. So this hair and makeup artist got mad at one of her clients. I'm not doing your hair and makeup. Excuse me? It's prelims. What? This woman, this girl, and her mom family has paid you to do a service, and just because your ego got a little hurt, you're not going to do this girl's hair and makeup. And that is when the good hair and makeup artist, like Alex, said, come on, sit in my chair. I will curl your hair, and I will do what you need to do, and you don't have to pay me anything.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what we need in this pageant industry is people that are like that.
Right.
We need to bring awareness to the issues in the back rooms.
Or in the dressing rooms, you've said, well, this kind of hasn't changed. Even when you competed, that people would refuse to zip you up.
Oh, yeah. When I was at the Mrs. USA pageant, I couldn't get anybody to zip my dress in the dressing room. Nobody wanted to help. Nobody wanted to do that. I've witnessed girls throwing cups of water on somebody else's dress right before they went out. All of these evil things. So it's not just evil now. It was like that when I competed too.
But how do we make that change, though?
By doing what we're doing right now.
Right.
By speaking up. By not being scared. You know, who's going to cancel you? You're not competing.
I've already been canceled.
You've already been canceled. I have too. We were both canceled several times over.
Right.
And if you want to cancel us again, go ahead. Cancel us. We're telling the truth. We're telling the truth. We're bringing it up because nobody else wants to. Girls that are competing are scared. They're scared to say anything. They're scared to challenge what they think is the authority. Right. Little do they know they're not the authority. You are the authority. The contestants, you are the authority. Moms, you are the authority. You pay the money. You pay the money for the hair and makeup. You pay the money for the pageant. You control whether that pageant even exists anymore. You control whether that hair and makeup person can go in that hair and makeup room. Don't allow it. Stop and stand tall, women, and do what's right.
But the worst part about it is, I know specifically with one organization, it has been brought to the director's attention multiple times. Like, hey, this is a toxic environment. This person right here is causing tons of issues, and it keeps on being said, okay, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. Okay, we have been dealing with it for 3 years now. It is time to either say, no, I'm not doing this, or to make a difference, because if you continue everything the way that it is, you are going to have no change. And right now, we need to have change. Something that just popped in my head is actually the last pageant I competed in was UNM Nationals. I love that organization. Do you remember backstage, like, y'all, I hurt my ankle, but like I was fine. It wasn't like a sprain. I think I just like twisted it. Like I was fine. And one of the producers and people that were helping in the dressing room was like, oh my gosh, like, let's get you a chair. You need to sit down. You need to relax. And I was like, I'm fine, but like, thank you. And they ended up getting me a chair and putting it in line for me to sit down. And I just appreciated that because I've never been in a dressing room or a holding room where I had staff be so kind to me, and not only kind to me, but kind to the other girls in the room as well. And it's just, I know I keep on saying this, but it's what mindset are you in right before you hit the stage?
Right. And that's one thing, and I'm so happy that you could end your pageant career with an organization like UNM, and I have to say that, and this isn't a plug for UNM, we're not sitting here, and we're not going to sit here and tell you what pageants to go to and trash other pageants. We're just going to be real and honest. And I can tell you, your last experience, we needed it to be good.
Right.
And it was. They were kind. They were wonderful. And I can tell you, their director, she would not put up with any of this hatred that we have dealt with in past
100%.
pageants.
Because now I am not going to avoid certain people, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation to where I know it isn't a good situation for me. So I'm no longer going to compete in organizations where these certain people are involved. And luckily, these certain people were not involved in this organization. But also, I think the difference with the UNM director is she genuinely cares about these girls, and she is not in for it just for this right here.
That's right.
Once you get this right here involved in competitions and in industries, that can change everyone.
They're selling their souls.
Yep.
They are selling their souls for a dollar bill.
Right.
That's what it's about. They'll allow these girls to be treated anyway because if they don't have this hair and makeup artist or this pageant coach or this person or that person there, it'll hurt my numbers. Guess what? It hasn't hurt Georgia South's numbers. When he specifically made it very clear that he was not interested in having certain hair and makeup artists come to his pageant, basically they were not welcome because of their toxicity. His numbers didn't hurt. It soared. Right. Guess what? Other hair and makeup people came. Other people came because good hair and makeup people don't even want to be in the same room with them.
Right.
Okay? And that's, I know we're just going on and on, but that's what this episode is about. It's about makeup and hair. And, oh, my gosh, what about we just got back from a pageant, though, we have to tell you.
Oh, my gosh, y'all, I have to tell y'all this. So I've never competed as a miss. If I were to compete again, I would have to compete as a miss. So I've never been on stage in a swimsuit. But, y'all, we're all pageant girls here. We all know what butt glue is, okay? We all know what that is. And y'all, Mom and I are helping these girls, pouring into them. I was not making fun of this girl, okay? So do not take me where I'm not going here. But this girl took her butt glue stick and put it in her butt crack. And I immediately looked at Mom because I know Mom has had to have a swimsuit competition before. And I was like, Mom, for swimsuit, is butt glue supposed to go in your butt crack? I was so confused. I was flabbergasted. I was like, I know this girl did not just put that stick in her butt crack.
But you do sometimes. Yes, I've competed in swimsuit. I think I've stuck butt glue anywhere I could find it to glue that thing down.
I of course, did not say this to that girl by any means. It was just something that just completely threw me for a loop. But you guys, just be aware. Just be aware and always know that where there's bad, there's good, and where there's good, there's bad. Yeah. Honestly, and that's up to you as contestants and as parents to decipher the differences and to get your crew. Get your crew and stick with your crew. And even if it takes you a little bit of time to find out who your people are, once you get your people, you will be set.
Right. Stick with your people in the pageant world and the people that uplift your child.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you guys, I hope y'all enjoy this episode, and we cannot wait to share more with y'all. So make sure y'all subscribe, give it a thumbs up, all of that good stuff, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.